So I just finished my first extended fast, and honestly, it was a really great experience. I'm gonna share the whole journey with you. The ups, the downs, what I learned, and why I did it. Fasting can be a powerful tool, but it's important to approach it safely and know what to expect. So let's dive in how my experience went. For the first 16 hours or so, everything felt normal. The hardest part hit between hours 16 and 25, where I started to feel more challenged, but then it actually got easier. After that window, my body seemed to adjust and I felt surprisingly good. As I got closer to the 36 to 45 hour mark, I did notice my body starting to feel a bit weak. But what was cool was that my mind, my cognitive function, stayed sharp. I wasn't foggy, I was just aware that my body was running low on energy reserves. Also know that for me it was challenging because I do 5 meals per day and pretty loaded with food. So I went from 100 to 0. Now here's the twist. I planned to get a full 48 hours, but by hour 45, I had to cut it short. My blood sugar dropped to a dangerously low level, so I decided to play it safe and break my fast. I'm pretty sure this drop was triggered by something I shouldn't have done. I went into the hot jacuzzi, and heat can actually make your body burn through blood sugar faster, so it's one of those things you should avoid during an extended fast. So speaking of what not to do, let's cover some fasting essentials. Don't do hot tub soaks or intense workouts while you're fasting. Both can drain your body's energy stores too quickly. Excessive stimulation. Caffeine can act as an appetite suppressant and energizer, but a lot of it can stimulate your metabolism too much while fasting, increasing stress on your body. Now, do stay hydrated. Drinking water is key, and electrolytes, if there's no calories in it, no sugars, and no added fillers, and this can help you avoid imbalances. I didn't do electrolytes for this fast because mine had 5 calories, but I will do for the next one. Also, monitor your blood glucose level. This is very important, especially during a long fast. It's a great way to know if you're still in a safe range or not. For anyone wondering if fasting is actually safe, yes it is. Especially a 48-hour fast, which can be an amazing way to reset your body. There's a misconception that fasting, especially for women, could be dangerous or negatively affect fertility. But studies actually show this isn't true for short-term fasting like the one I just did. Fasting has plenty of benefits, as long as you know what you're doing. Stay in tune with your body and prepare properly. Another myth you'll hear is that fasting can make you lose muscle instead of fat, which scares a lot of people away. The truth, studies indicate that during short-term fasts, your body actually shifts to using fat stores for energy first, and muscle loss only becomes a concern with much longer fasts, like several days or weeks. In fact, fasting can help preserve lean muscle because of increased human growth hormone, HGH, production. So rather than losing muscle, fasting 48 hours can enhance fat burning while maintaining muscle mass, as long as you stay hydrated and don't overexert yourself. Now for frequency. It's generally safe to do this longer fast a few times a year. The key is giving yourself recovery time in between. Fasting this way too close together isn't recommended, so I'll definitely give myself time before my next one. I'm planning on doing 2 per year. Now let's talk about weight changes. When I started my fast, I weighed in at 127 pounds right after eating, which includes some water and food weight. By the end, I was down to 122.3 pounds. This isn't all fat loss, but fasting can promote fat loss by making your body burn stored fat for energy. It's an interesting way to jumpstart that process, though I always recommend keeping your focus on overall health over just the number on the scale. I honestly didn't do this fast to burn fat. My main goal was to test my limits, put my discipline into practice, and reset my body. I wanted to experience the powerful benefits of fasting, like encouraging my body to renew some of its older cells through autophagy. This process helps clear out old, damaged cells and supports overall cellular health. For me, it was about pushing myself mentally and physically, building resilience, and giving my body a chance to reset and recharge. So breaking a fast safely. When it came time to break my fast, I did it gradually. First, I had some spinach with electrolytes to ease my body back into digestion. About 30 minutes later, I ate broccoli, and then after another 30 minutes, I had a full meal from Chipotle. Breaking your fast gently is important to avoid shocking your digestive system. So, what's happening in the body and mind during a long fast like this? Around 40 hours in, you're entering a state where your brain is running almost entirely on ketones instead of glucose, which can make you feel mentally clear. Fasting also promotes hormonal balance and can even support muscle maintenance if you're careful. When you're sleeping, fasting in a fasted state, your body goes into deep recovery, tapping into processes like autophagy, where it clears out damaged cells. So why did I do this? First, because I love testing my limits. I'm constantly pushing myself in different ways, whether in fitness or mental challenges, and fasting is a way to explore that boundary. When you push yourself like this, it strengthens your brain's capacity for discipline. It's a form of resilience training that carries over into every area of your life. If you know me, you know that I'm a big believer that people should do hard things regularly. Neurobiologist Andrew Huberman, which I'm sure everyone heard of, explains that when we push ourselves to do difficult things we inherently resist, it activates a specific brain area called the anterior midcingulate cortex. This part of the brain plays a crucial role in developing resilience and willpower. When people repeatedly engage in challenging activities they might initially avoid, like exercising more or resisting certain foods, this region of the brain actually grows. This growth is most noticeable in individuals who frequently engage in demanding activities, like athletes, compared to those with most sedentary lives. So now I'm super excited to share that I'll be starting intermittent fasting next week. I'll be creating a new video all about that experience. We'll go over some basics, debunking common myths, and dive into the science behind intermittent fasting. So if you're curious about fasting and want to learn more, stay tuned for that. In the meantime, if you're considering an extended fast like the one I did, I hope this video gives you a realistic look at what to expect and how to approach it with safety in mind. If you have any questions, of course, you can always ask me. If you actually do fasting like that, I would love to hear your experience.